Look who it is. Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
Let's get one thing straight here. It may have been his suggestion, but it'll be my decision.
I can see that. Well, regardless of the source, idea's a good one. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do is say the word, and we can let the fun begin.
I wanted to ask about your role in this.
I'm listening.
So, what exactly is it you do?
I'll walk you through all the ins and outs of getting us established on the other side of those mountains. Claiming territory, running jobs, keeping folks loyal. Gage and Coulter also tasked me with keeping on top of the goings-on back there. So I'll provide you with guidance on the places we can hit and the places we can't. Kind of makes me your one-stop shop for causing havoc in the Commonwealth.
What is it that you get out of helping me do this?
I've been well taken care of up to this point. I ain't greedy, but people with my kind of talents aren't common. All I'm looking for is a continuation of the lifestyle I've become accustomed to, and the same piece of the Commonwealth pie everyone else around here has been itching to take a bite of.
Which gang do you work for?
Don't work for the gangs. Gage brought me in to work for the overboss. Plan was I'd advise Coulter in his grand scheme to run roughshod over the Commonwealth. And despite Coulter's change of heart, I've kept my ear to the ground, just in case that day ever came. I'm hoping today might finally be it.
That was all I had.
So, does that mean you're ready to begin?
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require three things: territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are two ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land, or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
Is there a difference between the approaches?
Well, settlers will probably rally some bodies if you try and wipe them out, but it's a guaranteed way to claim a spot. If you try to scare them off their land, there's a chance they might just tell you to take a hike. At that point, you might be able to buy them off. But it could end up getting expensive if you don't work them over a bit first. Beyond just that, there are some places out there overrun with trouble. Ghouls, children of Adam, and the like. Those places aren't going to be interested in having a chat, so you're going to have more options if you go in guns blazing.
Get a gang together. Those settlers are as good as dead.
stick with the classics. Now, once you and the crew have cleaned the place out, those lucky girls and boys will move in and start working the place. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang you want to join you on the job?
The Disciples.
Yeah? Better bring a tarp.
I'm sure the ladies will be happy to get some blood on their hands. For a good cause, of course. Hell, for any cause.
That just leaves the target. Now for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again. Make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
What were those targets you'd recommended before?
Croup Manor, Taffington Boathouse, Greentop Nursery, and the Slog. Again, I can't guarantee those will all be available targets till I check my notes. But if they are, they're certainly a good place to start. Now you ready to make your decision?
We can't target certain settlements with certain jobs?
Unfortunately. Can't talk people off their land if there's no one around to talk to and the like. Most cases, I'll try to let you know why we can't target a place. But the biggest hindrance is if there's already some activity going on there. Though if that is the case, that Pip-Boy of yours might be able to give you some info on whatever might be blocking us hitting that spot. Now, you ready to pick that first settlement?
I'm ready.
Good. So, where do you want to hit? Let me... Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
Does that matter?
Only if you want to keep control of it. Targeting a settlement for a job is gonna break whatever connections you might have had to the place. Worth taking a moment to consider how much you like having that spot under your thumb. So, that the target?
Don't you ever question me.
Meant no offense. So, these sorts of jobs are pretty straightforward. Move in, kill everything in sight. Be a couple of our guys waiting for you when you arrive. Help you clean the place out. Now you're not gonna be able to take a direct route to the place. Fast way to get yourself killed. So you'll have to meet our folks outside town. Wouldn't be surprised if some Minutemen showed up to lend a hand. Wish I could see their faces when they see who they're going up against. Now, if you're looking for something to give you an extra edge, might be worth checking in with some of the gang bosses. Probably got some trick or two up their sleeves. The crew that's joining you is just gonna have standard kits though. If you want to arm them up differently, I'd take along some extra gear. Show those settlers who's in charge.
Hey there.
Hey, boss. Gotta look at what we're up against. Seems they brought in some muscle, which just means more bloodshed to go around. Wanna move in?
There anything I should know about the place we're about to hit?
What? You nervous, boss? I wouldn't sweat it. You picked the right gang for this. Now, how about we get started?
Let's get this show on the road.
Hell yeah.
I saw something.
I want to change your gear.
Take a look.
Hey,
Unimpressive, but I guess it'll do. The sooner we get some supplies coming in, the better. You can run along now. Go tell them how it went.
Hey,
Well,
Shank.
well. Word going around is there's some new raider boss tearing up the Commonwealth. Not too shabby.
It's a damn good start.
I'll make sure your cut of any caps the outpost pulls in are waiting in your quarters. So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Why stop at kneecaps?
Let me talk to them. I'll get them to hand over what we need.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping an eye on the place once you get them to bend the knee?
The operators.
I'll send word along. Then all that's left is the target. Only wrinkle is that it's got to be near our crew's new outpost. No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by to follow up on threats. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range of our outpost, you can check the map in your Pip-Boy. Farm called Abernathy's not too far from our new outpost. Might be a good place to hit if we can. So, where do you want to hit? Huh. Was that? Huh. I think that one's your territory, boss. You're sure that's the one you want to hit?
That one's the target.
Ruthless. So, to get these settlers to cough up provisions, they need to know that we aren't a crew to be trifled with. You can try convincing them to pay up, or you could rough them up some. Let them know we mean business. Lizzie Wyeth with the operators ought to have some tools you can use to make things easier. Plus, having an outpost nearby gives us another option: claiming the airwaves. Building a Nuka World radio transmitter at an outpost within range of the target will let them know we're closing in on them. Your Pip-Boy map should show you which outposts are close enough to serve. And if none of that works, well, I suppose you could always try paying one of them to convince the rest. And it's worth remembering, the more populated or heavily defended a place is, the more prep work you're gonna have to do to get them to bend. But you got options. Good luck.
Hi there. If you have
Just working hard, like always.
Everyone earns their place.
Sure could use a drink. Gotta be some liquor around here somewhere.
Mags, William, and Lizzie. All you have to do is hear them speak to know they weren't born into this life. They sure... bet gonna see who can down a mutie from the longest distance. William made a whole mess of caps that week. You know, I'm not convinced pack members aren't just ferals someone threw in stupid outfit. Certainly smell the part.
Lizzie.
Overboss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, you've come to the right place. I've put together a couple of toys that should make getting what you want out of those rubes easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
Don't worry, your gang will be taken care of.
Wonderful. So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
Stink bombs. Lovely.
Just give them a try first, Overboss. I think you'll enjoy the results. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here, ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
I'll never grasp the allure of the other gangs. Nothing but targets with fur
Any
and
operator
trash
gets caught
piles
breaking the
around.
peace, I'll punish them myself.
Making trouble? Good.
Ought to be handing Nuka World over to the operators, boss. Place could use some folks with style.
Mags and William are strict as far as bosses go. But if you can do the job,
Yes?
Hey, you.
There's something I can do for you?
You ever heard of Nuka World?
The theme park with all the raiders? Sure. Why?
This place is gonna start giving me and my gang in Nuka World a cut of everything you grow, make, or find under the damn couch cushions, understand?
That's an interesting proposal. I'm sure we can come to some kind of mutual understanding.
Listen, you're gonna start working for me now, alright? Just keep the supplies coming and we won't have any problems.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. Now please, get the hell out of here.
Hey,
What's up, boss?
wait there.
I'll be here when you need me.
We could really use your help.
They didn't send me, but I am a Minuteman. Is there some way I can help?
We're having a lot of trouble with a group of raiders, stealing our food and supplies. Do you think you can persuade them to leave us alone?
Don't worry. I'll take care of those raiders for you.
Oh, good. It'll be a relief not to have to worry about them.
If you had any questions, you can now rest assured that our overboss is a badass. What'd he do, you ask? Oh, nothing much. Just accomplished what we've all been waiting for, taking Nuka World over. All of it. I don't know what the overboss has planned next, but man, get behind him or get the hell out of the way. Hey, asshole, you're listening to Raider Radio. Hey guys, I've got a fun one for you.
Hope there's
You remember when Coulter said we'd take over all of Nuka World?
something useful to be found.
They're threatening to tear the place apart if we don't get the hell out of there. It's cute, but irritating.
Then I guess we'll just have to let them know who they're dealing with. You did good. Now get going. The adults are gonna discuss this. Figure this would happen sooner or later. Our outposts caught the attention of some of our new neighbors in the Commonwealth. An outside crew of raiders think we're honing in on their territory. Sounds like they're planning to tear the place up, and our people with it. Suppose this provides us a good opportunity to make an example. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Mayhem and destruction is what I'm thinking. For what it's worth.
What can you tell me about this gang?
Not a whole lot. Our scout said the boss calls himself Sinner. Claims to have a decent-sized crew ready to take what we stole fair and square. Suppose he just needs to learn who his betters are. So, are you and I of the same mind on how that ought to get done?
I will rip them to shreds personally.
Bingo. Only language raiders in the Commonwealth understand. Force. But you should probably get going. You wouldn't want to keep our new friends waiting. Wouldn't be neighborly.
I want the head of whoever's running this shit show brought to me. You the Nuka World waste pile that thought you could move your gang into Sinner's territory and live? You give me one good reason I shouldn't slice you open and eat your heart right here.
You listen closely. This land is ours. So turn around and crawl back under whatever rock you came from. Right now.
Whoa, whoa, easy. Take it easy, all right? Sure, just, keep it. Place was a shithole anyway.
I just need to trade gear with you.
Fine.
I want to trade a few things.
Right, you're the boss.
Shank.
Heard some rumbles, this one didn't get you either. Figure I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, Shank. I died.
I'm a ghost. Well, your secret's safe with me, regardless. So I suppose your recent success brings us to the next step. Loyalty. Without loyalty, everything that's yours ain't. And to keep a crew loyal, you need to keep them happy. Now, keeping raiders happy isn't real hard. Just have to make sure they've got their basic necessities, just like any other settlement. That they've got some things to keep them entertained, and that their food's taken care of, which, with raiders, well, isn't like dealing with other settlements. Now, if you want me to go into detail on any of that, you just say.
What can you tell me about entertainment for the outpost?
Well, it's a damn handy way to keep folks distracted if you're lacking in certain basics. Constructing pick-me-up stations or getting one of your crew working on a booze still will certainly help lift your outpost's spirits. And if the place has got a Nuka World transmitter powered up, you can construct amplifiers to help as well. Anything else I can answer for you?
Tell me more about providing food for the outpost.
So, Managing your outpost's food can get a little tricky. No one ever joined a crew to dig in the dirt, so you'll want to make sure you've convinced enough settlements to supply your gang. People at the outpost can farm in a pinch, but they sure as hell won't be happy about it. Now, if you're ever wondering if your outpost has enough food, you should take a look in your Pip-Boy. It ought to have a page that'll show you everything your outpost currently needs, food included. If they're low on grub, it's probably time to get a new settlement supplying you. Or you could always drop some food direct in their workshop if it comes to it. Now, was there something else?
I want to know more about managing the outpost's basic necessities.
Day-to-day needs. They're pretty straightforward. Just need to make sure you've set up solid defenses, plenty of beds under cover, and enough clean water to go around. Not much more to it than that. Was there anything else?
I think I've got everything I need to know.
Sure. If you've ever got more questions, you come find me. Or you can always consult that Pip-Boy on your arm. No better tool to tell you what your outpost may be hurting for. Now, depending on the state of the place when you hit it, this first outpost might already have some of the bare bones set up. All you've got to do is build up what's missing. If you want to run some jobs to convince more settlements to start sending supplies, well, you know how this works. You just come talk to me. And I was thinking, with the outpost coming as far as it has, might be time I set up shop there. Save you a trip anytime you want to run a job. You just let me know if that's something that'd interest you. Be good to make some trouble in the Commonwealth again. So, there anything I can do?
I want you to head to an outpost.
All right. Where am I going? Suppose I better get a move on then. See you there, boss.
Hey, Shank.
Boss, what can I do for you?
Nothing for now.
All right. Boss, something I can do for you? There another settlement you want to help?
Looking.
You got it. Just need the details. What job you looking to run?
Put the word out. Me and a crew are gonna convince some settlers to start paying up.
Good as done. And which gang you want to join you on the job?
The pack.
I'll send word along. Or Howl or something. So, where do you want to hit? Believe that spot's one of yours, boss. Still want to proceed?
Don't you ever question me.
Just wanted to make sure. Now, forcing a place to turn over provisions ain't complicated. Beat the locals so bad they don't want to fight anymore. Put any backup they might have called in the dirt. Your crew will be waiting when you get there. I'll remind them not to kill the goods. Watch your there.
Don't move!
Supervisor White.
Hello, darling.
You need me to carry something. Say the word.
Capture the mutants. That's the way.
Just wanted to trade a few things.